$40,000 for the same.
And it's $1,000. So I think we all know why that is, though.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I can't say that.
Say it.
They're not the most reliable. Starting?
We are starting with you.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to, I guess, our meeting area here at the Triple F Garage. Today, we're going to be talking about something that we get asked quite frequently, although it's not something that many people talk about on their videos, and people that have collections, it's something that they just don't want to talk about, I guess. So we figured we'd dive in. We have a good breakdown here of Jason's cars, Jordan's cars, BDD's cars. There's going to be a few things that really stick out. Some of the older cars, premiums versus the newer cars, and so on. So Jay, why don't you go ahead and...
Well, before we get into it, I just think we wanted to be pretty transparent. A lot of people talk about what is your insurance, and we look, and there's not a lot of videos out there, so we wanted to take the time, sit down, and kind of just pick out a few that are examples of the different types of cars we have and kind of compare and contrast and have a little fun.
Yeah, so, and I also just want to preface a little bit before we get started. You know, early on in creating the content, you know, we were running into some hurdles with our insurance company. You know, the underwriters, everybody, you know, normally collections like this, they're sitting in a garage and it's very low risk, high reward for the insurance companies. So
I mean, they really didn't know what to think of us when we started saying, like even the you know, the insurance to take the cars to the show, we told them, well, we're gonna get, you know, 20 of our friends, we're gonna drive them to a show. Like, what do you mean you're gonna drive them? When we said we're driving to a show, they thought they were going on the back of a truck and being driven. That's in their world how these cars get transported.
Correct. I remember you getting off the phone sometimes. I mean, there was a lot of times where it was questionable whether or not we were going to be able to continue to do this or not.
Correct, yeah, we had a couple of those moments, but you know, they've worked with us very closely. We had a meeting where all the executives flew in from out of state, and we all had a good dinner together with the underwriters and with some of the top brass there. And we kind of just went through to get on the same page so they could get to know us, we could get to know them more, and what the expectations are, and you know, how do we continue to build what we're building, create content, allow people to come into the collection and take out some of the cars with us and still be covered under insurance. And that's a tough pill to swallow for an insurance company.
Well, I was surprised how easy they were to work with and how they were actually excited to kind of branch off into a new direction and provide us coverage. I thought it was neat the way that I thought they'd be so uptight about letting other YouTubers come in and drive our cars.
Well, and you know, at the beginning they kind of didn't know what to do. I know, you know, it had been shopped a little bit with some other companies, and when they heard that we were letting other people drive, that they wouldn't even quote it. Like, unquotable pretty much.
I think we need to add some context to that as well, though. It's not like you can just show up and anybody can just drive a car. I mean, you know, most of the people that drive the cars are experienced in driving supercars or hypercars or high horsepower cars. People that have been around us for quite a long time, people that we trust. We get asked a lot, you know, hey, my dad's been driving for 50 years, like he can drive anything. It's a little bit different than that when you're involved with these type of vehicles. So I just wanted to add that context as well.
It is a very good point. So it might seem like we're just letting a bunch of random people do it, but you know, there's other stuff going on behind the scenes to where these guys are used to driving the cars.
And we love our cars, we value our cars, and the last thing we want to do is put somebody in a car that could get hurt.
Correct.
Because they can get away from you.
They can. The insurance company working with us has been fantastic. They want to, you know, because we're kind of blazing a new path here with this channel, with Triple F, with what we're doing, getting all the content that we're doing, daily driving all the cars. So we needed, you know, we kind of explained that to them. And, you know, it's something that the world hasn't quite seen yet, and nobody quite knows how to take it. So we wanted them to blaze a new path with us and get on board and take a little bit of a risk and, you know, get on this.
They've been great to work with, and
they've been awesome. So getting to our list of cars, I have a list of every car that we currently own.
I have a list too.
That's good. So we have a total here of 55 cars going through the insurance premium. So we'll compare some here. We'll see what's you know, some of the higher priced, more rare cars compared to some of like the mid-level supercars, and maybe even some of like the higher cars, why there's such a difference in a percentage basis compared to the purchase price. So the most expensive is the Mclaren Sabre at $4.2 million for the purchase price, with an annual premium of $50,000.
It's a big insurance premium.
It is.
But when you look at as a percentage, it's a lot lower of a percentage than you get on your daily driver. A normal $50,000 car would be a lot higher percentage.
No, that's a good point, Jason. I've always said that, like when people just, like in conversation. I'm always like, well, it's the same as insuring your Honda. It's the same percentage, if not less.
Right.
So, which, I mean, it's still a ton of money, but it's less
relatively, it's not a
percentage
straight
speaking.
line.
Right.
So yeah, for comparison, the media van,
On a percentage basis?
your premium is 8% of the value.
Yeah, so annual premium is $534.
That's a great point.
So
on that one.
8%, and we're talking about most of these high-end hypers being around about a 1.2%.
After the Sabre is the Pagani Huayra at $42,000, almost $43,000 annual premium on a $4 million car. So it's a decent step down, going from $50,000 down to $43,000 in the annual premium. All these cars are kind of squished together up here. So then we go to the Mclaren Speedtail, the XP3 being $3.6 million at $40,000 annual premium. And then you have the LaFerrari at $3 million at a $38,000 premium. So these are all kind of clumped together between, you know, the 35, because the Regera is at 35,000 annual premium, and then up to like 50. So you're talking the top 6, you even throw the P1 in there. The top 7 cars are in that like $30,000 to $50,000 annual premium.
They're all right around that 1.2.
Jason, how much would the LaFerrari premium be if it wasn't red?
But you know, that's what I was looking at, because it is higher as a percentage than any other one. So I don't know if they say red sports cars demand a higher premium. Is that true with a LaFerrari?
I'd like to compare a black one.
Yeah, our black ones,
Don't buy a red car, I guess, if you're worried about the insurance premiums.
but we like red Ferraris.
So we're gonna get red. That's a good point.
Hey, I voted for not red.
It looks so good in red.
Well, and the F40, it's at a 1.3 also. So it is a little bit higher, but it's interesting, both Ferraris are the same percentage of value.
So another interesting tidbit here is comparing the 54 Mercedes Gullwing at a $2 million price being only a $7,000 a year premium, compared to, you know, another $2 million. You know, the McLaren P1 is $2.3 million, and that's a $28,000 a year premium.
But I gotta say, there is a speed difference when you get in there.
There is a speed difference.
I drove it today, and it's hard to drive fast like this. Feels more like a boat.
Yeah, like a Greyhound bus. But, you know, so it is really interesting to compare. Even like the 918 is really far down on the list, with a 1.4 million purchase price being $11,000 premium annually.
That's very surprising.
Right? It is. I mean, that's like P1 and LaFerrari are up there.
I mean, there's people with like bad driving records that have $10,000 a year premiums for much cheaper cars.
It's wild, isn't it? Because I mean, everything else seems to come kind of in line here. So when you get to like the supercars, you know, like the 458, 190,000, that's a $2,500 a year premium, right? So and then like
there's no sticker shock there. Like
No.
I thought that was relatively cheap.
And it's still like 1.4, so you can kind of see the high ends are 1.2, the $4 million cars, and then you get down to, you know, into the supercar, 200,000 to 300,000. You're only
Look
jumping
at
up
the 650,
1.4.
$1,400 annually for the 650S.
Yeah, I mean that's like
crazy.
I know. So all of them start to kind of clump together in that like $1,000 to $3,000 range when you get down into the supercars for the premium. So that's like, you know, double figures premium. So 10,000 and up, we have 11 cars that would fall into that category. And then it kind of takes a jump down. It goes from like 11,000 down to like 7 and then 5. So if we look at 5,000 or under, we're looking at 41 cars that are at 5,000 or under.
But they all still hover around that same percentage though, right?
Well, if they really knew what we were doing, the Hummer H3 would be a lot more.
Well,
It's only $600 a year.
well, you know, part of it too is, you know, putting in the claims. You know, we're not going to put in claims.
Well, I don't think you can really claim that I was on my property and ran it into a tree.
Well, you wouldn't
in
actually.
the woods.
Well, you wouldn't actually say that.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No, you say you hit a deer.
But then they watch our YouTube video and it's
Well,
you're hitting
let's
a
say
tree.
that's completely
Like
unrelated.
you purposefully drove through a fence.
Well, we could like get a deer and throw it on the car or something.
You purposely drove through a fence.
Well, he told me to. And shockingly, it cut through that fence like butter.
It really did.
Now I want to do it again. Can we get the H3 back?
You can also see, you can also go back and check out that video on our YouTube channel from a couple months ago.
Oh my God, that was so much fun. Surprisingly, it didn't get that many views, but it is one of the most fun videos.
That was one of
we've
my,
had.
the most fun to do. I love driving in the woods and being a little bit destructive.
A lot bit. We love destroying things as well.
The
You're like a
locations
mini
and
whistling diesel.
Oh, I don't think a micro.
Mini.
Maybe a micro.
It's a little fun to do though.
Another thing that sticks out is the GT4. $100,000 and it's a $1,000 premium.
Quick math says that's 1%.
That's 1%. And then the Land Rover Range Rover is
40,000 for the same.
And it's $1,000. So I think we all know why that is though.
Well, yeah, but no.
For those that don't know, I don't know. I can't say that.
Say it.
They're not the most reliable.
People are going to want to hear specifically what some of the premiums are. So like the Bugatti Chiron was 3.2 million. That's a $36,000 a year premium. F40 was 1.475 million with a $19,000 premium.
When I first looked through this list, I gotta tell you, I thought the premiums would be higher.
I did too.
Yeah,
I
I
was
did too.
surprised that
Yeah.
as a percentage basis they were that low.
I think we were driving to Georgia, or driving home from Georgia, and you told us the total amount.
Yeah, you guessed
That was-
way over.
Oh yeah.
You
I
guessed
forget
way
what
over.
my guess was, but it was a lot higher.
It was like at least double, I think. So that's kind of a good comparison, a good feel for the current garage. Some of the cars coming that we have in the next 12 months, 12 to 24 months would be the Yesco, RBC, Chiron Super Sport, AMG, GTR Black Series, the STO, the GT3, and the one that we cannot talk about.
Is that the
Yes,
that's what it is?
it is that one. Nobody knows about this yet.
Rick, do not include that.
Well, you're at least not telling another soul.
Did I tell somebody?
Yeah, you told Rick. So we need to go back here a little bit. So on the 55 cars that we currently have, the total annual premium is $408,000.
So we'll ask everybody, comment below, is that more or less than what you thought for 55 cars, including 11 hypers, around 10 supercars, and then the dailies?
And then with the cars coming, we'll add about $200,000 on top of that premium. So it'll be about $600,000.
Which is pretty substantial. I mean, that's 50% of the current.
Correct.
And just wrapped up in what, 8 cars?
They're high dollar cars. We're gonna have new kings of the list here pretty soon, aren't we?
Yeah.
We will, yeah. So our
Is
current,
one of the king leaving? One of the kings of the list might be leaving.
it could be.
I'm gonna delete it right now.
Okay, well, we can't talk about that yet, so make sure you don't say which one.
Oh, I deleted it.
Oh, good, thank you.
Okay, 54 cars.
Our current monthly premium, because everybody likes monthly numbers,
Yeah.
Deal?
is $34,000
For insurance.
for insurance. Yes, so insurance premiums
I love the monthly number.
monthly is $34,000.
Yeah.
So with the cars incoming, it'll increase from $34,000 to about $50,000 a month. So from about $400,000 to $600,000 annual premium. Yeah, let us know. Is that shocking to you? Is it a lot less than what you thought?
Yeah.
I know it was less than what I thought it would be without having all the numbers in front of me and then getting those reports.
You know, sometimes it's funny how putting it in a monthly number makes it seem bigger though.
Well, because I
Yeah.
mean, $35,000 a month is like sounds crazy. I hate to say pleasantly surprised at the number, but it sounds ridiculous.
Well, I think you're used to seeing premiums on like kind of like a $50,000 to $60,000 car type range in your mind, and then the percentage is just a lot lower on some of these very high hypers.
Yeah, but even from an outside perspective, like, it's not that bad. I hear the number and I'm like, that's not that crazy.
Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
or-
He's talking about what, 40, how much is it? About 40 million in cars, something like that?
So 36 to $40 million in cars with incoming cars. So for a $50,000 a month premium, we're talking about $60 million in cars probably.
Relatively speaking. not bad.
Relatively speaking.
But no, I like breaking it down monthly because everybody can relate to a monthly car payment or a monthly bill.
I mean,
or
yeah, you're right.
an
That's what
insurance cost.
everybody does everything in. Credit card payments, mortgage payments.
Yeah.
I would have thought higher.
I would have thought higher as well.
Yeah, I was thinking 2 or 3 million.
Because what is that, 1%? That's 1%.
It's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I think that was a really good breakdown and good discussion on, and our our insurance company really helped us get everything together so we could do this video today. And
And I think the first of kind of exploring more of the cost of ownerships of having a hypercar collection. I think that's one of the things people most want to know is like how do you maintain this? What are the costs associated with the ownership? Because really just buying it on the sticker is just part.
correct. So this is really like in a series, episode 1 going through just insurance premiums, and episode 2 might be maintenance costs.
Yeah, what we've ran into.
Yep, like everything that we've had to fix, replace out of warranty, or even in warranty. What's that still costing? What are the warranties, and just going through all the maintenance side of things. So
yeah, so consider this part 1 of
Part 1.
Hyper and supercar ownership.
More to come. Thanks guys.
That was so cute.
It's good.
That was so cute.
Good.
I got the news. I got the news.